Hello and welcome back to BTC. So far we have learned about 8 principles of green chemistry. Now we'll be learning about the remaining 4 principles. So let's make a quick start. Before moving further, let's have a quick recap of what we have learned so far. So the first principle that we learned was about prioritizing prevention of waste. Second was promoting atom economy. Third was less hazardous chemical synthesis. Fourth was related to designing of safer chemicals. Fifth was safe solvents. Sixth, design for energy efficiency. Seventh was the use of renewable feedstock. And eighth was reduce derivatives. Now let's see what's in store for us today. The ninth principle of green chemistry actually revolves around the word catalysis. It says that we should use catalyst instead of stoichiometric reagents in the reactions. A catalyst is like a helper in chemistry. It's a substance that makes chemical reactions happen faster and more efficiently without getting used in the process. So, the ninth principle is all about using these helpers or catalysts. But why is this a good idea? Well, when we use catalyst, this helps increase selectivity, minimize the waste, and reduce reaction time and energy demands. So using catalysis is like having a superpower in chemistry. It helps us save time, energy, and resources, which is a great asset for the environment. The 10th principle of green chemistry actually talks about the design for degradation. This means that we need to design chemicals that degrade and can be discarded easily. Now imagine you have a plastic bottle or some other product. Over time, these products can become waste, and if they don't break down naturally, they can stay in the environment for a very long period of time, causing pollution and harm to the environment. This principle is all about making these kind of products in a way that they are no longer useful if then they can be broken down into harmless substances by natural processes like bacteria or sunlight. Now to achieve this, हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक्स का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं जो कि नेचुरल सोर्सेज से बना होता है, जैसे कि शुगर केन और कॉर्न स्टार्च. So when you throw away such product, it eventually breaks down into simpler compounds like water and carbon dioxide with the help of microorganisms in the soil. So our mission is achieved for the design of such products which can be degraded easily. The 11th principle of green chemistry is real-time analysis and pollution prevention. Now, this principle actually involves continuous monitoring and analyzing data related to the environmental factors and pollutant levels. By doing this in real time, it's possible to detect and respond to pollution issues immediately, preventing environmental harm before it occurs. Now, for example, Delhi during October to December, usually in India, we experience severe air pollution with an increased AQI index. So, real-time analysis system can be implemented for pollution prevention, which actually includes air quality sensors installation. यानी कि इसमें हम क्या करते हैं, अलग अलग जगह पर एयर क्वालिटी सेंसर्स इंस्टॉल किए जाते हैं. In fact, they have been installed in the city, and these sensors continuously measure air pollutants including PM 2.5, PM 10, NO2, SO2, carbon monoxide and ozone. The second step is data collection. फर्स्ट स्टेप से जो AQ सेंसर्स के थ्रू जो हमें डेटा मिलता है वो हम कलेक्ट करते हैं from these sensors, and then it is sent to the central monitoring station in real time, which is then analyzed to provide an up to the minute picture of the city's air quality. So after this second stage of data collection, the third stage arises, which is early warning system. Now, if the analysis which is done above through these first two steps, it shows exceeding limits of pollutants, then an early warning system is triggered, which could involve sending alerts to the local authorities, residents, and industries responsible for the emissions. After the early warning system, immediate action is done, which includes the authorities which can take immediate action that might include traffic control measures, restriction of industrial emissions, or advice to the residents to stay indoors. Now, after this step, continuous monitoring and adjustments is done, which actually means the system continuously monitors air quality and adjusts interventions as needed to maintain the clean air. Additionally, what is done? The data is used to identify pollution sources and take long-term actions to reduce emissions so that it can be prevented in the upcoming year. The 12th and the last principle of green chemistry is inherently safer chemistry for accident prevention. This means that the substance and the form of a substance which is used in chemical process should be chosen so as to minimize the potential for chemical accidents, including releases, explosions, and fires. For example, consider a chemical manufacturing process that involves the use of a highly toxic and reactive substance. But in line with green chemistry principle, following steps might be taken. And what are those steps? Number one, you can substitute the toxic substance with a less hazard alternative that can achieve the same results as was being achieved earlier. Or you can minimize the toxic substance to bare minimum amount required for the desired outcome. The third way of doing it is that moderation of a process condition such as temperature and pressure, which can be adjusted to lower levels, reducing the reactivity and potential for any kind of accident. And last of all that you can imply is simplification of the complex steps so as to reduce the risk of failures and accidents. So, in short, you can create safer chemistry so as to avoid any kind of accident, so as to prevent any kind of accident by adopting either of these steps. Now let's try to bring these last four principles of green chemistry in one frame. So it goes like catalyst degradation design causes real-time pollution and accident prevention. So all these four principles of green chemistry are included in this single sentence. Before saying goodbye, let's have a quick revision of all the 12 principles of green chemistry in a nutshell through these mnemonics. Principle number 1 to 4. Prevent the waste and grow atomic economy to generate less hazardous chemical synthesis by using design of safer chemicals. Principle number 5 to 8. The Sapphires and Rennie on their way to effigy party created laughter derivatives in the air. Principle number 9 to 12. Catalyst degradation design causes real-time pollution and accident prevention. So that's all with the all principles of green chemistry. Thank you all for being connected throughout the 3 episodes of the principles of green chemistry. So stay connected and goodbye.